What's going on, everyone? So at the end of season 2, going into season 3, we saw Tabitha get out and make it to the real world, right? And she went on her journey, which ultimately led her to Henry. But here's the thing, right? Why did she get out? She thought that she was getting out in order to help save the children, the Nkui children. And she didn't go down the path that was believed originally that she needed to go down. I mean, even Henry calls it out, right? And you see the boy in white push Tabitha out of the watchtower. And before that, he says, sorry, this is the only way. And the idea was, okay, clearly there was a reason. Clearly there was a purpose. The boy in white shows up in the real world, leads Tabitha down this path that ultimately leads her to Henry, who happens to be Victor's father. And so the kind of general thought was, oh, okay, that is why she had gone down this journey, not to save the children, but to retrieve Henry, right? Because as soon as she is on the road with Henry and the two of them are on the road together, boom, they end up in FROMVILLE. And I believe that they would have ended up in FROMVILLE regardless, right? I know that they got in the ambulance, so the thought was like, okay, well, is it because Tabitha is hurt and Henry's hurt, so now their mission's kind of over, so let's bring them back? No, I believed originally that, and many people too believed that it was because Henry served a significant purpose. Henry served a significant point that needed and was required for him to go back and return to FROMVILLE. And more likely than not, that was going to pertain to Victor. However, it turns out that, yes, Tabitha did need to go get Henry, but not because it had anything to do with Victor, but because it had everything to do with Tabitha. So Tabitha went to the real world per the boy in white. The boy in white sent her there for really two reasons. One, again, to retrieve Henry. That still, I believe, is intact, right? Because who is Tabitha? She is Miranda. Well, why would Henry be important? Why would Henry have any type of value to Tabitha, even if she does have Miranda's memory? Well, to help kind of fill in some of the pieces, fill in some of the gaps, right? Just like Tabitha's been helping Victor, and Victor's been trying to unravel the past stuff. Got to remember, she's going off of her memories, right? As a reincarnated version of Miranda. I'm sure there are still gaps that need to be filled. I'm sure there are still things that need to be remembered. And I'm sure there's pieces of information that Henry has, right? The boy in white has helped in several ways. Now, he doesn't help as much as I would like, but it'd probably be a really quick show if the boy in white just showed up and was like, oh, hey, yeah, just go there and you'll get out. There's a secret hatch over there that takes you to the real world and everyone's safe, right? It's a really quick show. But like you said, like you need to kind of figure it out. And Nkui meant remember. Well, if you send Tabitha to go get Henry, one, that might spark the memories. That might spark some like familiarity. And you even saw Henry kind of have, this is something that we talked about here on this channel. Henry and Tabitha, particularly Henry, had this almost familiarity to Tabitha. It's why the thought of like Tabitha being Eloise kind of made some sense. Because it's almost like Henry at times was trying to like, goat her out of some, like, hey, are you not? Hey, here's the room that my son and daughter, even though I don't really believe you, even though I'm kind of sketchy about you, even this, here's where my son and daughter lived, right? Like, it kind of like, it was almost like he was trying to see if she had any type of responses. Also, her going down into the basement, gaining all the information, gaining all the memories, all the imagery, all the things of Miranda. The whole point was for Tabitha to remember. The boy in white knew that Tabitha needed to remember. She needed to remember her past of Miranda and all the other pasts. So him pushing her to the real world to then go and find Henry and start building that relationship, building that kind of connectivity, right? Like, okay, there's something. And then on top of that, to add into, her just being able to kind of catalog all these memories and all these things from Miranda. And in the hopes that maybe it would spark her to remember. Maybe that would kind of funnel in some past memories and stuff. And it really didn't. But it was like, okay, let's get her back to FROMVILLE. And which I still believe the boy in white is the one that got her back. Because, look, we've seen FROMVILLE can bring anybody back at any time. It doesn't do anything for FROMVILLE, because we just saw with Jim and his death, it doesn't do anything for FROMVILLE to let Tabitha get out and then bring her back, right? But it does for the boy in white, because the boy in white is trying to help in his own way, right? And so he's the one that, okay, lets her out. He follows her out, kind of needed to use her to open the door, opens the door, so now he can bring her back in. Right? Because again, why would FROMVILLE bring Henry back and do all that stuff? Like, what's the point? Why not just let her? I mean, if they wanted to get rid of her, just let her get rid of her. Right? Let her start all over as a new person. Right? And all these people are dead. Right? But no, the boy in white was trying to get Tabitha to remember. He was trying to have her unlock some memories. And once again, Henry was important. Because who is Henry? Henry was the husband of Miranda, who now Tabitha has the memories of. But does she have all the memories? Does she have every kind of detail and stuff? Right? Henry still has information. He still has, conversations that he had with Miranda. Right? And I do think that there's going to be this kind of like helpful triangle in a way of like, Tabitha helping Henry and Victor, and in return they're kind of helping Tabitha, because you got to keep in mind Tabitha is technically in a kind of like removed sense Victor's mother, right? Like which I think is, you kind of look back now and it's like, think of Tabitha and Victor's relationship and how kind of motherly she always was towards Victor, and how much she, even when Jim was like ready to break Victor's face, like she was like, very kind and loving towards him, and she saw like who he is, and just kind of at first, you kind of wrote it off as like she's a mother, it's the motherly instinct. Like clearly he's not trying to hurt nobody. Clearly he's harmless. He grew up in this place, right? And there was this bit of sympathy for him. But now that we know, oh no, well, you have Tabitha, who is Miranda. Okay, well then maybe she always had that kind of in the back of her mind. I mean, Tabitha even said herself, like, it's like she always knew. There was always like this bit of her. There's always piece of her. Like there was always something kind of off. There was always something that felt different when she was there. And because she's been there time and time again. But now she is technically, again, sort of in a removed sense, the wife of Henry and the mother of Victor. Right? And which I think is funny because she also had Jim. Jim died, and then kids of her own. And then also has a daughter with Jade. So, seriously, like she has like 15 kids right at this point, which I think is wild. But, it is something that I do think that there is going to be this bit of a connection. There is going to be this bit of a tie-in. And I do think that now, looking back, we can see what the point really was. And the point was to try to get Tabitha to remember. The boy in white was trying to get Tabitha to unlock her memories. Talking to Henry about Miranda and these stories and whatnot, and the bottle tree and all of the paintings and stuff. But also Henry was important. Because again, why bring Henry back? Unless there's a further purpose for him, which I do believe there is. I think that purpose is in a sense because of, Tabitha needing help to kind of continue to unlock these memories, continue to remember things. I think that that's going to continue to play a point. Because is it something where she just immediately knows everything? She immediately had, probably not, right? Like there's probably something where she's got to start unraveling things. She's got to start, getting the memories kind of funneled back in. And I do think Henry can help in that regard. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you agree? Do you think that, yes, that's the point, that's the purpose? Do you think, no, it was some other reason? Do you have some other idea? I don't really think this is like a theory. right? I think that's really what it is, just based on the information we have and how this played out. But obviously, the boy in white didn't show up and was like, I sent you there for, information to unlock your mind, right? Like, so, it could be something else, but I'm pretty confident that's what it is. But anyway, again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are. Either way, I'd love to hear it, so let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.